Welcome to Mind, Soul, and Reality, MiSoR. In today's deep dive, we explore one of the most provocative frontiers of modern science, the prospect of human cloning. The dream of replicating life, once confined to science fiction, now stands on the precipice of reality. Cloning, a concept that electrifies and unnerves in equal measure, challenges our deepest understandings of what it means to be alive. This video explores not just the how of cloning, but the profound why and what next that lie beneath the surface. Remember Dolly the sheep? Her arrival in 1996 marked a monumental leap, demonstrating that an adult mammal could be cloned. Dolly wasn't just a sheep. She was a symbol igniting global conversations about the ethics, potential, and limitations of this revolutionary science. Long before the scientific age, ancient Hindu mythology wrestled with the terror of unchecked replication in the legend of Raktabīja. His name, literally translating to blood seed, described a demon with a terrifying biological defense. For every drop of his blood that touched the earth, a duplicate clone of equal power and malice sprang forth. Cloning, at its core, is about replicating a biological blueprint. It's about creating a genetically identical copy. But are we, as humans, merely the sum of our genes, organs, and cells? This question forms the bedrock of our exploration today, venturing beyond the purely physical. Our bodies are incredible symphonies of biological processes. Billions of cells working in harmony, organs performing vital functions, all orchestrated by our genetic code. From the beating of our hearts to the firing of our neurons, it's a breathtaking dance of life. Yet, even with a perfect biological replica, would we truly have replicated a human being? What about consciousness, self-awareness, emotions, memories, the intangible elements that define our individuality? This is where the scientific consensus often grapples with profound philosophical questions. We often view cloning as a violation of nature, yet nature herself is the original cloner. Consider monozygotic identical twins. They occur when a single fertilized egg splits, creating two individuals with identical genetic blueprints. In the strictest biological sense, they are clones of one another. Yet, despite sharing 100% of their DNA, no one would argue they share a single soul or consciousness. They are distinct persons with separate desires, fears, and identities. This natural phenomenon offers a comforting truth. Even if science replicates the biology, the human spirit remains singular and indivisible. We are not just our code. We are the unique operators of that code. While the concept of cloning feels alien to the human experience, the botanical world thrives on it. Plants are nature's original masters of asexual replication, a process as common as the grass growing in a field. To a single potato tuber birthing an entire field of offspring, the plant kingdom demonstrates that life does not always require a unique genetic pairing to continue. In this realm, the self is fluid, capable of fracturing and regenerating infinitely, proving that biological redundancy is a fundamental, ancient strategy for survival. Moving up the ladder of biological complexity, natural cloning becomes rare but remains a fascinating reality in the animal kingdom. We see rudimentary forms of this in creatures like the starfish, where a severed limb can regenerate an entirely new, genetically identical body. Yet, even among more complex vertebrates, nature occasionally bypasses sexual reproduction through parthenogenesis. This virgin birth, observed in certain species of sharks and lizards, allows a female to produce offspring that are essentially genetic copies of herself without a mate. These natural occurrences blur the rigid lines we draw around individuality, showing that the blueprint for self-replication is hidden deep within the machinery of life itself. Long before the double helix was discovered, ancient scriptures hinted at life created beyond the bounds of sexual reproduction, echoing what we now call cloning. The virgin birth of Jesus describes a divine generation of life from a single source, a concept that parallels the biological idea of parthenogenesis, life emerging without fertilization. Similarly, Hindu mythology offers striking antecedents. The Kauravas of the Mahabharata were born from a single embryo, divided into 100 parts. Cloning forces us to re-examine the age-old debate of nature versus nurture. While a clone shares identical DNA, their life experiences, environment, and personal choices would undoubtedly shape them into a unique individual. Genetics provides the potential, but life sculpts the reality. Even beyond the DNA sequence itself, there's epigenetics, changes in gene expression that aren't caused by changes in the DNA. Environmental factors can influence these epigenetic tags, meaning a clone, even with identical DNA, might express genes differently. Our bodies are home to trillions of microorganisms, our microbiome, which play a crucial role in our health and even our mood. A clone would develop its own unique microbiome, further contributing to its distinct biological identity. The human brain is incredibly plastic, constantly adapting and rewiring itself based on experiences. Even two identical twins with identical brains at birth develop unique neural pathways as they live their lives. A clone's brain would be no different. Every human being is a universe unto themselves. Our quirks, our dreams, our fears, our unique perspectives, these are not encoded in our DNA alone. They emerge from the intricate interplay of our biology, environment, relationships, and the mysterious spark of consciousness. While reproductive cloning raises significant ethical red flags, therapeutic cloning offers immense promise. Imagine growing organs for transplant free from rejection, or developing personalized treatments for debilitating diseases. While the idea of cloning entire humans remains a philosophical minefield, the science of cloning parts of us is already a medical reality. Through human tissue culture, we can now coax cells to replicate outside the body, turning a microscopic sample into sheets of skin for burn victims or cartilage for joint repair. This technology is rapidly evolving into the dream of full organ regeneration, growing a kidney, a liver, or a heart from a patient's own cells. In this light, cloning isn't about creating a doppelganger. It's about providing the body with spare parts that carry no risk of rejection, a biological repair kit that extends life without challenging the uniqueness of the soul. The prospect of human reproductive cloning throws us into a complex ethical minefield. Questions of human dignity, identity, exploitation, and the very definition of parenthood come to the forefront. Society grapples with the responsibility that comes with such power. Many fear a slippery slope, that allowing any form of human cloning could lead to unintended and undesirable consequences, such as designer babies or a devaluation of human life. This argument often underpins calls for strict regulation or outright bans. Could cloning offer a path to a form of immortality? If we could clone ourselves, would it mean cheating death? The answer, as we'll explore, is far more nuanced. A clone is a new individual, not a continuation of the original self. Our memories are intrinsically linked to our sense of self. A clone would not possess the memories of the original. This fundamental difference underscores why a clone is not merely a copy, but a distinct person embarking on their own journey of experience. For many, the concept of a soul or an inherent spirit distinguishes humans from mere biological machines. If a human were cloned, would the clone possess a soul? This question, while outside the realm of scientific proof, deeply influences public consensus. The Bhagavad Gita offers a profound perspective that predates the cloning debate by millennia, the absolute separation of the biological hardware from the conscious user. It describes the body merely as a garment vasamsi jnani, which the soul discards when worn out to don a new one. In this view, reincarnation is the ultimate natural cloning of the self into a new form. But this raises a critical question. If the soul transfers, why do we not remember our past lives? The answer may lie in the interface. While the soul carries the samskaras, the deep-seated impressions and traits, the brain is a fresh, hard drive. The specific files of memory are biological, stored in the neurons of the old body. A new body offers a blank slate for the ancient traveler, allowing the soul to evolve without being burdened by the specific data of its previous journey. This brings us to the most radical frontier of all. If we can clone the body, will we ever be able to clone or transplant the soul itself? Futurists and transhumanists speak of mind uploading, a process of mapping every neuron and synapse to transfer human consciousness into a synthetic or cloned body. But this technological ambition hits a hard philosophical wall. If you copy your mind into a clone, have you transferred yourself, or have you merely created a digital echo while the original you ceases to exist? Science may one day build a perfect cage, but capturing the bird, the spark of unique I-ness, remains a mystery that biology alone may never solve. Ultimately, what makes us human is not just our biological makeup, but our capacity for choice, for agency, for self-determination. A clone, like any other human, would possess this inherent freedom to forge their own path. From birth, we are sponges, constantly learning and developing. Our interactions, our education, our failures, and our triumphs all contribute to the complex individuals we become. A clone would undergo this same unique developmental journey. The very idea of replicating a human in the fullest sense is perhaps an illusion. While science can copy the biological vessel, it cannot copy the unique journey of consciousness, the accumulation of experience, or the unfolding of a singular life. The global consensus on human cloning is far from unified. This complex tapestry of beliefs makes international regulation incredibly challenging. Many countries have enacted laws specifically addressing human cloning, often prohibiting reproductive cloning. These legal frameworks attempt to balance scientific advancement with ethical considerations and societal values. Public perception of cloning is often heavily influenced by media portrayals, which can range from utopian visions to dystopian nightmares. Fear of the unknown and of playing God often drives resistance to the idea of human cloning. History teaches us that every scientific breakthrough carries unforeseen consequences, both positive and negative. While we can speculate, the true impact of widespread cloning, if it were to occur, remains a profound mystery. The future of cloning, particularly human cloning, remains unwritten. What is clear is that as science continues to push boundaries, we, as a society, must engage in profound ethical and philosophical discussions to navigate these complex frontiers responsibly. Perhaps the ultimate lesson from the prospect of cloning is to cherish and celebrate the irreplaceable uniqueness of every human life. Our individuality, born from an exquisite blend of biology and experience, is our most profound and beautiful truth. We have traveled from the microscopic dance of DNA to the ancient battlefields of the Geta, and yet the central mystery remains unsolved. Science may soon master the art of replicating the vessel, but the pilot, the consciousness, the soul remains beyond the reach of any microscope. Perhaps our uniqueness isn't written in our genetic code, but in the unrepeatable story of our lives. Do you believe a human clone created in a laboratory would possess a soul in the same way a naturally born human does? Or would they be, as some fear, a biological machine without a spiritual center? If science could perfectly upload your memories and personality into a fresh, cloned body, would you consider that new person to be you a continuation of your life, or would it just be a stranger haunted by your memories? Tell us your perspective below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please like and subscribe to join the MiSoR community. See you in the next video.